past President Marlene, Tennille, and Firas, as well as Jax with Theo, distinguished members of the WFEO, national members, international members, members of the board, members of the Executive Council. Let me welcome you to, I think this is the first Zoom meeting I'm going to have as president of your prestigious organization, the World Federation of Engineering Organization. So it is very exciting for me. And of course, if I do some things that are normally not very presidential, you have to excuse me because this is the first time. Exactly. So actually the purpose of this meeting is to discuss about the World Engineering Day we are going to have this year, that is 2020, next year, 2024. And we are all aware of the fact that we started this World Engineering Day in 2000 when we got the approval of UNESCO to declare 4th of March as World Engineering Day for success, for sustainable development. And gladly enough, over the years, we have been recording, successes in leaps and bounds. Every year, we record more success than preceding year. So it is our hope and desire that this year also, we are going to record much success more than the previous years. And probably think about not only having the World Engineering Day more celebrated at the center. Probably we should even celebrate it at the various regions we have in WFEO. That is, we should have a center in Africa, another center in Asia, another center in Europe, another center in the Americas, and another center in the Arab region. So I think that is some of the things we are thinking going forward. And I want to thank Marlene for not only initiating this particular event, but also making sure that, she stood firmly with a lot of energy and tenacity to make sure that things are done very well and things are also progressing. So, Dr. Marlene Kanga, I do not have enough words to thank you over what you have been contributing to the development of WFEO over the years. But the only thing is that I just have to say it in the English language I learned, and that is to say thank you. If you, in my local language, there are other ways of thanking somebody beyond what is being said in the English language, but unfortunately you don't understand my local language. So thank you so much for all what you have done. And for our, collaborators, Tennille, you have been with us over the years. You have really shown a lot of commitment towards the success of this World Engineering Day. I also have to express my profound appreciation to you and your company for being with us all these years without any issue. So we thank you so very much for the cooperation, for the support, and for all you have been doing towards the success of this World Engineering Day. The Secretariat staff have been wonderful, honestly, over the years. And even as I take over the affairs of the WFEO, anytime I call upon them, Jax and Theo are always there. Sometimes they respond to me within a few minutes of my inquiry. So I believe we are going to have a wonderful time together with all of you. So having said that, I think I want to welcome everyone that is here at this particular webinar. And it is my hope that we are going to set the tone for this forthcoming World Engineering Day at this particular webinar. And if there are any issues, we should please bring them out so that we look at those issues, constructively. For those who are not enabled to talk, please, if you have any comment or any observation or any opinion, please feel free to write it in the chat box, and definitely we are going to address it. And if there is need, we can even have a means of enabling you to speak. So with these few remarks, I think I can say once again, I'm welcoming everybody to this webinar, and we can go to the next item on the agenda. And I believe the next item on the agenda is Tennille.
It is.
Big creative to make their presentation.
Thank you.
May I call on big?
What a beautiful intro. Thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciated all of those beautiful, kind words. And I could see that Marlene was also quite humbled by the beautiful and wonderful things that you said. So thank you so much for, I guess, noticing. It's nice that people obviously notice how much effort we put in, because we spend so many hours of every day planning for this amazing program, and we just want everyone to feel as much passion as we do. So it's always really exciting to hear the feedback. So thanks again so much. So I'm Tennille. I own the Big Creative. I'm in my, I'm going to say 4th year of World Engineering Day project planning. I think the very first year I just started doing some social media kind of awareness kind of stuff, and it just really blew up, and the whole program was really kind of amazing. So over the years, and as we've kind of progressed, the Big Creative was responsible for introducing the hackathon along with Mel at Remini. And we've also been responsible for the creation of the 24-hour live program. So I'm here again this year. I'm so excited. I've got so many wonderful things to share with you. First and foremost, though, the most important thing that we always like to sort of set the tone with, the theme for 2024. We've got a theme that has been approved by UNESCO this year, a wonderful theme, if you ask me, that Marlene Kanga actually came up with, and it's engineering solutions for a sustainable world. We feel really passionately and positively about this theme, specifically because we've got some really cool things happening in the hackathon space, which I'm going to sort of brief you in a moment. And this theme is really, really well shaped into the angle that we've taken for the hackathon program. So I'd love to hear any thoughts and insights that you have along the reins of the theme. Obviously, the 24-hour global stream will have a huge kind of shaped sort of structure and content structure around the theme kind of basis. So it's really important as WFEO members that we start to think about what type of content we could generally start, capturing and planning for that directly relates to the theme. So I'll leave that with you for now, and we can probably have more of a conversation on that as the next months progress. I wanted to kind of lead into what's happening at the moment, which is really exciting for us. We are in the tail end of the promotion of the World Engineering Day Hackathon. The actual challenges go live on Sundays, so we really are at the tail end of things. And then the teams will actually have 2 weeks to prepare their submissions and send the submissions back to us. But what I really want to kind of shape and tell you guys today is the angle that we've taken for the hackathon this year, which has been so well received. We've turned the hackathon green for the year, and we're going to have a climate action goal 13 climate change agenda aligned with all challenges that are coming out on Sunday. So this is a really fun and interesting take on the hackathon, and I can't tell you how well received this has been from our community, and also just the general engineering public across sort of social media and other various ways in which we're trying to communicate these sorts of things. So as well as it having a green agenda this year, of course, all the challenges at heart will still be aligned with engineering solutions for a sustainable world. So the theme certainly plays a huge impact on that. And then there are additional SDGs that are coming into play. Marlene will talk a little bit more about the challenges with Katie a little later. But there is obviously some really, really positive things that are happening in this hackathon space that we're super, super excited about. I hope everyone's seen some of this communication that's going out. In particular, this particular photo here, I absolutely love with the "This Year We Go Green" copy. And then we've actually made a new logo for the year, which is actually a sub logo, which you can see down the bottom, which shares the UN SDG Goal 13 graphic and logo, which is pretty much on everything that we're kind of putting out into the market. So this is super exciting, and I can't tell you how well received things have been. So just to give you a bit of an understanding of the timings, because I did say that we're at like the tail end of the hackathon, and I really do mean that. We opened up registrations in October, so that was about a month and a week ago. Challenges are scheduled to be released this Sunday. That's the 12th of November, 2023. And then teams will have 2 weeks to submit their final entries on the 26th of November. So for those of us in the room that have been completely across this and know those submission dates, I hope that the people that you're talking to and mentoring in this space have some great guidance from you in regards to the dates and the timelines of how this has to progress in the coming weeks. But for those that are sort of hearing it for the first time, I think it's also really important to understand that if you have people within your network that you think and feel would be perfect for our hackathon program, there's not a huge amount of time for them to get involved. The website has been really beautifully put up this year. You just go to the World Engineering Day website, click on the hackathon tab on the website, and you can fill out a registration form right there. So I really encourage everyone that's got any students within their network to potentially try to encourage them to be, activating the registration as soon as possible. So the submissions that we then get then go into a 2-phase judging kind of group. The first one's a preliminary judging phase, and that'll happen over December. And then we'll have final judges, which is a top five final judge list that will assess the top 10 over January, with the final winners announced on the 24-hour stream on March 4th. So we don't necessarily tell anyone who the winner is ahead of that time. We like everyone to be watching the major event on March 4th. It plays probably 2 or 3 times throughout the 24-hour period. So it's a really big kind of draw card for us to be able to get this huge audience in front of their screens and watching the entire, program over the March 4th celebrations. So there's some prizes again this year. We've done the same prizes for the last few years, but they're pretty huge in comparison to other sort of hackathons out there in especially in the engineering space. The first prize is 4,000 euros, which is quite large. Obviously that has to be split between the teams. Teams are made up of 3 and 5, so you can sort of appreciate that dilutes a little bit. And then there's second prize, which is 2,000 euro, and third prize, which is 1,000 euro. So this is what I'm really excited to share with you though today. Over the last 3 hackathons that we've had, for the most part, we probably average at about 1,000 registrations for every hackathon. We are still sort of 3.5 weeks out from closing the registrations, and we're currently at 1,315 registrations so far. So we're 300 over any other hackathon that we've ever had. This is definitely the biggest and most amazing hackathon that we'll see in terms of numbers and submissions. So I'm pushing for 2,000 students. I don't know if that's, a little too much of a stretch. And that would obviously give us 100% increase on our numbers, which would be really amazing. So I really need everyone in the room to help us achieve that. It's just like as many times as you can promote anything that you can put onto social media, sharing all of the content that we're posting along social media, and doing whatever you can to sort of push the message along, I think would be really helpful for us. Here's some things that we need. I think I kind of covered the first one, promotional support. We're also still really looking for sponsors. We've had quite a lot of sponsorship inquiries, and they are going through the funnel and the process of trying to, progress those further. But we are always looking for sponsors, and specifically for the hackathon, it's such an amazing program for other, more corporate-based organizations to get involved in, because it makes them look really great. So please, if you've got any sponsorship leads, send them my way. One of the really big things that I'm hoping to get out of today is I actually need more judges. I need more preliminary judges. So that would obviously be an invitation for anyone on the webinar, and then obviously anyone within your sort of, within your sort of organization that you feel might be a good fit. Please please contact me and let me know if we can potentially steal a little bit of your time. I don't anticipate the judging process to take a huge amount of time. The videos are like 5 minutes long. You'd probably be looking at 10 to 15 videos. It's not a huge portion of time, but we do really, really need quite a lot of additional judges. Just a quick snapshot of our sponsorship packages for anyone that's interested or might know of anyone that's interested in our sponsorship programs. We've got, you know, packages starting from €2,000 right up to €15,000 and everything in between. The larger one is like a huge amount of kind of onboard sort of criteria that they get. They get a seat on the judging panel. They get their ads played on the live stream, you know, website graphics, socials graphics, logos everywhere. So there's lots of opportunities there for organizations and corporations to get involved, and we will make them look really amazing along the way. So just coming off the hackathon now, so we're obviously in November, so we've got until March 4th until, you know, obviously World Engineering Day. So a lot of the planning now switches into producing the 24-hour global stream. The 24-hour global stream takes months and months and months of planning. I can't tell you how big that is to put together. I think on last count, we had like 300 videos last year. It's insane. So obviously we'll have an amazing program this year, 24-hour coverage. We'll do some live stuff from the Lisbon event. But as I do in this global stakeholder address every year, I'm just begging everyone for content. Please send me ideas, send me emails with what events you're having. If they're interesting, we'll film them and we'll, you know, hopefully get them on the stream. We tend to like everything that goes onto the 24-hour global stream to be pre-recorded. That doesn't mean it needs to be pre-recorded tomorrow. It can be like in the days leading up to March 4th, but it just really minimizes the risk of us having any technical problems if we can have the majority of it recorded ahead of time. And then, as I did say, we obviously have the whole process for the submission, you know, judging of the submissions that will come in from the hackathon. And then that all leads into us planning what we call the hackathon final show spectacular. You can see Marlene here on the little beautiful photo here where she was hosting last year with Ashley Brinson. And that normally is like a 2-hour program where we show the top 10 finalists. We hear from Engineers Without Borders on a range of different things. We talk to, obviously, you know, the main WFEO, you know, partners or anyone that we feel like might have a really good, you know, sort of element of inclusion in what we're kind of focusing on. And as we sort of said, you know, most of that and the majority of that will actually have a really big sort of green focus, which is really special. So that's me in a nutshell. I just wanted to open up to any questions, but I don't know, Mustafa, if you wanted to hold the questions until the end, or did you want me to answer some questions over chat? Marlene?
Yeah, I don't see any questions. I invite all the panelists, all the whole, you know, those who are attending to just put their questions in the chat if that's workable, and we'll try and answer those.
That sounds great. Yeah. So if you do have any questions, please just pop them in the chat,
and
we will.
Yeah, and how many panelists do you wish to have? I mean, additionally, because I heard you saying that you need more panelists.
For the judges?
Judges.
I mean, sorry, judges, yeah. How many? Any number?
I'll take as many as I can get, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think another 20 would be great. We currently have about 35 judges, but that's preliminary and final. But yeah, just because the registrations are going so crazily, it's just really probably smart to put on as many judges as we possibly can.
You mean the registration yes. of the submissions from the students?
Yeah, the registrations for students for the hackathon has just increased so significantly that I just want to be quite prepared for that in terms of having the appropriate level of judges.
Okay, that's good. So I think I will pass this information to a lot of groups so that we get volunteers to serve as judges. That shouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Whatever anyone can do to help.
Yeah.
If Mustafa, if I might Lane, may I
Firas.
explain? So the judging is a 5-minute video, and we will each submission is judged at least twice, and the scores are then averaged. So we don't want to overload judges. So I don't think we will give more than 10 per judge. Is that correct, Tennille?
Yeah, I'm saying
it's 50 minutes. So it's like 1 hour. We're looking at 1 hour of judging from each judge.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So, and then we will average. Yeah.
Probably that's why she's saying she needs more judges, because so that they don't judge anyone. I mean, they don't overtask any one person.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. And the criteria, we have simplified them this year. We had 10 criteria which aligned with the International Engineering Alliance graduate attributes and professional competencies, because this is really to show outcomes-based education. It has a very strong education component, but we've simplified, we've reduced it to 5 criteria just to make the judging easier. And then hopefully that also will get us more consistent scores as well. And we are, after the competition closes, we're going to send all participants a questionnaire, because this will, and their responses will be valuable research for us, for, going forward, and to encourage more universities to participate in 2025, if they see the impact of this education impact of this. So that's why we need more judges as well. I think that participation will be really important, especially young engineers. We really want to focus on young people. So perhaps Firas also can engage his committee and get them to nominate.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just want to ask Firas, how wide is this publicity made to all our national members? I mean, the young engineers section of our national member institutions.
Yeah, definitely. It's delivered to everyone, and I have done a meeting to push young engineers and members of the committee to participate as preliminary judges. We have a few who have, like 5 or 6 who have been nominated to do the preliminary judges. I'm also capturing 3 or 4 more, and it's going all the way. So from the national members, we have around like 8 members of the committee being preliminary judges.
No, I'm not talking about the preliminary judges. I mean the actual participation in the competition.
Yeah, the actual participation is being led by the secretariat. The email was sent to everyone from the national and the international members to push engineering students from across all over the universities to participate. And on the local level, being the chair of the Young Engineers Future Leaders Committee, I'm doing some contacts with the, for example, Federation of Arab Engineers for some of the universities here in Beirut, like the American University of Beirut and other universities, to push to have submissions. And this is should be like a combined efforts from everyone to push within his circle in order to make sure that students from different universities from different regions of the world are participating in this like global hackathon. So this is something like we're doing this webinar today in the process to push for getting more submissions and for a more publicity of this hackathon. Probably, maybe if it's my turn, maybe I can go through like quick slides in order to put some issues related to the hackathon. Probably many were covered by Tennille, and I guess first of all that I would like to reassure that for the great job that has been done so far for the previous 2 years, and which was led by Marlene and your presence also, Mustafa, on the board before being a president. And I believe that we need to push further in order to have this global event observed more and more by having more participants, by having more publicity, and I guess we're on the track for this. So maybe if you allow me that, I'll have like few slides that I would like to share. I'm not sure if you can see the.
Yes, I've already started sharing before you got the permission, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. If someone needs to put any input, I would share again. No problem for this.
No problem. Go ahead and
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. For those young engineers from all over the world and other interested engineers who have joined this webinar today. This is like a webinar to introduce you for the competition, which is part of the World Engineering Day celebration, which is the 2024 Global Hackathon. And as we all know that this is being hosted by the World Federation of Engineering Organization, and also the Young Engineers Future Leaders Committee are taking part in this hackathon. Definitely, we have international partners, and one of the most international partners that we're collaborating with is the Engineers Without Borders. The hackathon really it engages students from global universities, and it focuses on engineering challenges. And currently for this year, the theme of the World Engineering Day is engineering solutions for sustainable work, and the challenges are aligned with the 2024 theme. And definitely the participants' work or the submissions that to be done by the engineering students should contribute to advancing the UN Sustainable Development Goals. In order to empower the engineering students for a sustainable world, this competition simulates a real-world project, and it requires students to collaborate in a form of a team in order to deliver results quickly. And it's also a combination of the theoretical knowledge of the students with a practical experience. Such competition or such submissions will enhance the critical thinking of students, will show that how students have developed through their years of being at the universities with the new skills, and how did they can demonstrate their abilities in having like creative solutions in advancing the SDGs. Definitely, this year the World Engineering Day, the hackathon is focusing on the climate action, which is SDG number 13, and I believe that throughout the work of WFEO and throughout of the work of the Young Engineers Future Leaders, we have done a huge effort on the projects which are related to the climate action, and participated in different projects. And I do believe that this year having the theme on climate action will bring interesting submissions from different students, because this is a hot topic, and many universities are focusing on the issues of climate crisis. So basically, this is a call today to all engineering students from the different parts of the world to participate in this wonderful opportunity in order to demonstrate their skills and deliver like exciting projects. And as one of the important role of the young engineers in the WEFEL is the participation in the judging of these submissions. As Marlene and Tennille presented earlier, that we have we're pushing to get more preliminary judges. Preliminary judges are probably people or young engineers with some experience in judging in similar events. They will be tasked to review a number of submissions. The total number will be determined upon knowing the total number of submissions, which will be divided on everyone. The judging criteria is based on the GAPC benchmark, And there's a software, the award stage judging platform is used and will be used by the preliminary judges to capture the scores and to put any comments. And this is something which includes full transparency, and it will enable international reach and scalability. From here, I also push for recruiting more judges, volunteering for this task, and participating from the different members of the WFEO, from the different young engineers group, in order to have like a chance to revise these submissions and participate by including your input. Basically, as we have mentioned earlier, that the main focus is on the climate action as a hackathon challenge, and probably Marlene after will elaborate more on the different challenges. But this is in general that we need to have a joint call or a joint action to explore the further improvements or further things to be done by the younger generation in terms of climate action for a better future. The submission guidelines as presented earlier, the important date you need to see that the challenges will be released on the 12th of November. For this year, one submission is needed, only one submission is needed. It is a 5-minute video, and definitely in 2 weeks, that is on the 26th of November, the submissions are due. So you need to make sure that you deliver your submission within the 2 weeks time frame from 12 to 26 of November. And the prizes presented also by Tennille, they will be divided into individuals. Every team should be from 3 to 5 people, and the prizes will be divided. Below is a snip from the winners of the 2023 hackathon, the first, the second, and the third place. And finally, I would like to thank you everyone who joined today, and I would like to make sure that when we post this webinar offline, to promote within your networks in order to push for having more students from different universities from all over the globe in participating in this event. Thank you very much.
That was great, Firas. Thank you so much. I can actually see that there are two participants with their hands up for questions. Those questions might actually relate to what you were referring to or what I was referring to. Let's just hear from the first one. I've got Mohammed.
Hello, thank you very much. This is Mohammed Baroula from Ajman University in UAE, United Arab Emirates, and we receive actually even the invitation in collaboration with the UAE Association, Engineering Association, where we want to encourage actually the students to participate, and this is the aim of joining the presentation today, just to understand before we circulate the invitation with our students. So just the question that is the registration is still open, and should we from our side actually to ask students to participate in a group, or we the grouping it will be from your side? Thank you very much.
That's actually a really good question. So we tend to, for the most part, for the World Engineering Day Hackathon, teams are formed offline. So generally it's formed within their school network or within their friend network. We have this year set up a Facebook group for people who were unable to find a group on their own. And so people in the Facebook group are actually forming teams as we speak. And, you know, connecting and talking with each other and deciding on how many people they're going to have in their team and so forth. But for the most part, it's really designed for a university to have X amount of students kind of broken into however many teams, and sort of work with the people that you know. But we can, you know, play around with those sorts of parameters a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, it's, you know, better for them to sort of form their own teams.
But they register as individuals.
The deadline for registration?
I'm so sorry, I missed that last part.
Yes, the deadline for registration.
Oh, we will leave the registrations open until the submissions close on November 26th. And as Marlene did say, we're still asking for everyone to still register as an individual. I'm going to just quickly show you guys what that looks like because it's very simple. It's at the World Engineering Day website. At the World Engineering Day website, and you just actually go along here and click on to Hackathon. And you'll see we'll go green because it's so well branded. This is where they register. It's really simple. Just slot in a ticket there, fill out the details, put in some information about your university, and then click register. And then from there is a huge amount of kind of communication that happens in email to tell them what happens next. So they get a lot of onboarding and a lot of nurturing in terms of them understanding how to form teams and the things that we've just spoken about. Thank you so much. There is another question here as well. Ramillo, sorry, I'm so sorry. I've mispronounced that. Ramillo, how are you?
Yeah, I'm Romulo from the Philippines. Yeah, I think my question also is the deadline and of course the registration. Is there a registration fee once we join?
free.
Okay, so just okay, so the deadline is I don't know the deadline. And by the way, for the information of everybody, we are also celebrating the World Engineering Day. Actually, we are doing it the whole month. And the culmination will be in Qatar. Because we have almost 500,000 engineers in Qatar. So we'll have the conference there for the World Engineering Day. Of course, on the first day, we will have a fun run, which is on the first week. Then we have what we call the sports fest. We have the basketball, we have bowling, and we have the fun run. And it will be culminated, of course, by a conference in Qatar. That is on March 7, 8, 9. So we will send you some invite if you are around. Then we'll have the conference in Qatar. Of course, if you are athletic, you can join the fun run, you can join the basketball, and you can join the bowling. And of course, we have chess and practical shooting. Anyway, we'll be we'll be registering our hackathon, and hopefully we'll meet the deadline. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. It's a bit of a shame that your events are on after the World Engineering Day global stream, because it would have been some really great things for us to maybe show on the stream. So have a think about it, everyone, obviously with us today in terms of participants. If you've got some events that you're sort of thinking about potentially putting on around March 4th, we would love them to be in the days beforehand, pre-recorded and sent to us for our global stream. So please just be mindful of that. I'm just actually going to hand over to Marlene Kanga now. Obviously, Mustafa said some wonderful and beautiful things about her. I can't speak more highly of her as well. She's just the most motivated and enthusiastic and passionate person I've ever met. And I'm so excited that I get to work with her on this program and project. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about the challenges this year. Marlene.
Yes, yeah, thanks, Tennille, and thank you, Mr. Algateb, for the participation from the Philippines in the hackathon, and you've been winners. I know in the top 3 and a winner outright in 2022. So congratulations, and I hope we see a lot of teams from the Philippines. So just to reiterate, you need to register as an individual, and then the individuals form their teams. And if you register earlier, you will have the full 14 days to prepare a submission. But if you register later, you can register up to 26 November, but of course you have fewer days to prepare the submission and submit it. And there is no registration fee. So thank you for those questions. I just quickly wanted to talk about the challenges. And this year, as you've heard, the theme is climate change. But we also wanted to make it broader to encourage all engineering disciplines to find a space for them in this very important competition, which is now, I think, the biggest global competition for engineering ever held, with 1,300 registrations. So we will have challenges that will have SDG 13 as a theme, but underlying that, there will be 3 challenges, and they will relate to one of the other SDGs. It might be water, it might be energy, and it might be sustainable cities, innovation and infrastructure, and so on. But all with an underlying theme of climate change. And we will encourage all teams to look not only at that main SDG, but also to consider how other SDGs are also impacted by their solution. And in particular, we would like to see SDG 5, gender equality, included. That was a request from UNESCO, who they're a very important partner of ours. So these are the challenges. We're all set to go. And as I also mentioned, the judging criteria are aligned with the graduate attributes and professional competencies. So it's a great opportunity to showcase the skills of the engineering students as their study program in terms of their employability skills and their creativity and innovation, which we need so much in terms of how we solve the problems for sustainable development, and this year, particularly for climate change. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene. That was so wonderful. It's nice to give a little bit of a snapshot into the challenges, and they'll obviously be released on Sunday in much greater detail. So even if you aren't participating in the hackathon, I strongly encourage you to set your sort of alarms or clocks to jump online and have a bit of a look at them. We do have some more questions. Please keep the questions coming through now. If you want to ask us anything, just pop your hand up. I'm just going to throw now to Jonathan Kemp. If you wanted to just take yourself off mute, we'd love to hear from you.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, my name is Jonathan Kemp with Engineering for Change. And I wanted to highlight one thing that I think you were asking us to put things into chat, but chat is disabled. So that's why there's no questions coming through there. But I also had a couple of specific questions. So for people to participate in the hackathon, can any students participate or only undergraduate students?
No, any students.
Okay, thank you. And what kind of...
Except PhD, sorry to interrupt, except PhD, sorry.
Okay,
PhD.
and what criteria are there for being eligible to be judges?
Well, that's a really good question. It's preliminary phases anyway, and it will go through quite a few different rounds of sort of, people viewing processes. So in reality, we're really just kind of, we're working with the networks that we have. We have a lot of preliminary judges that are coming to us from Engineers Without Borders. So it's people that are, working in sort of impact kind of humanitarian sort of environments. We have a lot of people that have, been within the WFEO community and sort of judged alongside us for many years. So there's not a huge amount of criteria. I just really want expressions of interest. I mean, it would have to be something very unusual for us to say that we won't let you come on the judging panel with us, as long as you're a sort of engineering professional and you're, over the age of 16. No, I'm just joking. So, I mean, if you're kind of on this call, that would probably be, qualification enough, because it is just that preliminary phase where we put all the 300 videos in one thing and we get, 40 people's opinion at once. As it goes through the final phases, it's obviously a lot different. We have, someone from UNESCO. It's, obviously, our key organisers, Marlene, so that's a little bit different. But yeah, so I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, I just want to say, so Jonathan's from ASME Engineering, E4C Engineering for Change. They have a huge network of young engineers. So Jonathan, we'd welcome ASME's and E4C's participation as judges. And please also promote the hackathon. We'd love to have you on board.
We'll see what we can do. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. I'm going to pop my email in the chat. So if anyone just wants to directly message me just to say, hey, I'm available, please do. We also, welcome any other leads or anything else that you can do to help us kind of flesh that out a little bit. We do have another hand up. Radar, do you want to just maybe pop yourself off mute, and we'd love to hear from you?
Yes, hi, I'm Raed Al-Alawi. I am the president of Bahrain Society of Engineers. Hi, everyone. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Mustafa, Firas, and Tennille. I'm really so happy to be here today with you. Actually, I've sent the call for participation to all universities in Bahrain, and I'm hoping this year I've been promised by many universities that they will be, participating in this event. What's missing now, and I would appreciate if we can get, you are asking for call for judges, if we can have a call from WFEO so that it will be, unified. I don't want to write my own. It's coming from WFEO. It will be really good. So I can also disseminate it to all universities in Bahrain. And one more question. Is it only, suppose we have graduates, they are not students, but they are young. I will suppose it's open for them, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
For the hackathon, if they have to be students for hackathon, but for judges, they can be graduate engineers.
Okay. So at the hackathon, they have to be registers at university. Okay. So do you have a call for judges? Any?
I do. I've got a really beautiful quiz. Yep.
Yeah. So if I can get this one, it will be great so that I can disseminate it to all universities.
Absolutely. So we might just think about the best way to sort of process that offline, because we might want to sort of send it to everyone that we invited today, and then maybe just a direct email for myself so everyone can have access to both of those things. But we have a beautifully drafted email that just really sums up.
Fantastic. And by the way, it's just another note which has been, we cannot access the chat. The chat is locked. So
yes, I know. I'm so sorry. I noticed that after I'd said that. So I'm so sorry.
No problem.
It's nice. It's nicer hearing from you all. So I think the hand
Thank
up
you.
sort of fixed. Nice. Okay, thank you so much. We've now got Lydia.
Yes.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks, Rada.
Yes. Can I? Can I?
Hello. Are you there? We can hear you.
Yes, I'm Lydia Tansinsin from the Philippines. I would just like to have a clarification. When you say young engineers, these are enrolled students in the universities only, or those who are considered young up to the age of 35? Because the definition of young is 35. Now we see, are you going to include those 35 years old or only those who are enrolled in the universities?
Who wants to take that one? Do you want to take that one, Marlene?
Yeah, I'll answer. So Lydia, hi, this is Marlene. So for the competition, to register for the competition, you have to be a student, either bachelor's or master's, not PhD. You have to be registered in a university. To be a judge, we're looking ideally for young engineers, but we will accept older engineers. So there's no age limit as long as you are a qualified engineer and wish to be a judge.
I see. So there's no age limit.
There's no age limit. You can be a judge if you wish, Lydia.
And that you're not enrolled in the university at this time.
No, you don't judge
time. Okay. So thank you for
any working engineer. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. I just also wanted to just highlight that we're obviously, very passionate about the young engineer space, because we do find that that's generally a lot of what the demographic is that's engaging with us. So we'll do the 24-hour live program, and then we'll go back and watch the watch report, and it's all under 35-year-old young engineers, which is really interesting. I think it's really, really special. It's also really special to see when we do the hackathon, the amount of females that are signing up and registering on a daily basis. It's just, I think it's something really inspirational to be very excited about. I know that Marlene's felt very passionately and worked really hard to shape the way that sort of females are coming into the industry. So I'm seeing that on a daily basis when I'm watching these submission or these registrations come through. So it's something that's just really, nice to sort of note. I do have 2 more hands up, but they were from previous questions. I'll just ask again. Mohammed, did you have another question that you wanted to ask? Because you've still got your hand up. No, I think they were both from before.
If I might add, Tennille, that we have done a report on the 2022 and 2023 hackathon. And so when we send, that is on the WFEO website already, and it has links to the winning videos of 2023. So it gives you an idea of what kind of submissions we can expect. And so when we send out a follow-up email after this webinar, we will send the call for judges, and we'll send the link to this report as well. So if you want to encourage your universities to register, you can see what this hackathon is all about and what the results were, which are quite amazing in terms of the innovative solutions that are produced in this 5-minute video that we're asking the competitors to submit after just 2 weeks. So we have a limited time because this is to replicate the kind of pressure and stress we face at work. So we give the students a taste of that to produce a solution quickly and innovatively and work in teams. And the results are always fantastic. So I suggest to have a look at that as well, because you'll get more information and an idea of how it actually worked and run.
That's great. Thanks, Marlene. I just want to do a quick call out for any other questions, if anyone had any other questions. While we do that, I'm just going to share one really fun and interesting thing that I just noticed. So I did my presentation about 2 hours ago, and then since sitting here for the last 2 hours, my registrations for the hackathon have gone from 1315 to 1375. So that's in like 2 hours. That's what I'm saying. That's how many are coming through. My phone is just going bing, 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 bing constantly. So it's really exciting. I think if there's no more questions, we might actually go back to Mustafa for some closing words.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the meeting has been quite informative, and I'm also very happy with the enthusiasm shown by some of the participants. But I think while commending, ourselves for the relatively higher turnout this year, but I think there is still room for improvement, especially if we further circulate this information to our national member institutions, especially our young engineers, future leaders committees in our various countries. And the information also given, as regarding the criteria for who should participate and who should also be a judge is also very important. And I think, just as Marlene has said, immediately after this particular meeting, that information has to be sent to all our national members from the Secretariat, the criteria for participating in the hackathon, and also the criteria for participating as a judge. As soon as that information is sent by the Secretariat to our national members, then our national members should endeavor to spread this information to all the universities we have in our various countries. I believe we should have greater number of people participating if this information is spread across our, the various universities in our countries. So with this, I want to thank everybody for creating time to be here, especially those of us from Australia, Marlene and Tennille. I know the time is. In Australia, it should be around 11 or even 12 midnight now. So I really appreciate, the sacrifice you are making to make sure that we have a very successful World Engineering Day in 2024. And I want to thank other participants at this particular webinar, for creating the time to be with us. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.